Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan, Mr. So Real, and welcome to another episode of the State of the Game for the Division in September the 7th, 2017. Now, in this State of the Game, there was no Hamish, there was no Yannick, and I have to say, shout outs to Petter. You were amazing. You knocked it out of the park. You did a really great job. The questions were concise. The flow was great. And you kept it going, you kept it straight, and you didn't BS anything and got right to the point for a lot of things and really asked good questions. So if you didn't watch the actual State of the Game, you can go over to the Division's Twitch, and then you can go and see it in its entirety, and you can see what I mean. Petter did an amazing job, and I think a lot of the Division people are really happy that he did such a great job and proud of him for his hard work. And I think it should be saluted. And yeah, he just did an amazing job. Now, in this video for the State of the Game, there actually is a lot of stuff that we do need to go over, and there's some pretty interesting stuff going on. They're going to talk about Skirmish. They're going to talk about the RPM glitch, and mostly the focus is going to be on 1.7's PvP 4v4 mode Skirmish. There's going to be some video of that as well. They're also going to talk about gear optimization, because that is a thing, the new gear score level and how all of that is going to work. And then they're also going to talk about and give a slight little hint towards Rogue 2.0, and that's pretty much going to be it for this State of the Game. So if you want to know a brief breakdown before we start getting into a whole bunch of the videos, then I'm going to do that right after this. So why don't we get started with this week's State of the Game.
Hello everyone, and welcome to State of the Game for, which date is it? It's the 7th of September 2017. A lot of people are probably going, who's that guy? I'm not Hamish, I'm not Yannick. Hamish and Yannick are out of the country. So I'm Petter. I actually have one of these. That's me. And as some people pointed out, no, the RPM glitch has not been fixed yet, sadly. Sadly, it turns out that it needs a client-side fix, which we'll be deploying as soon as possible. Some people might know that getting a patch out on, say, like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One can be a bit tricky, but we're going to push the PC patch as soon as we possibly can, and then push out consoles as quick as we can. But do remember, though, that using the RPM glitch is a bannable offense. Bandwave has already gone out. We banned quite a lot of people. I'm not going to give you exact numbers right now. We might get back to that. And we're probably going to do at least one more, probably more, if you guys don't behave. So don't use the RPM glitch. Leave it alone, and you won't get banned. That's as simple. It's just that simple.
All right, now after giving Petter his time to shine with his intro and having his little talk about the RPM glitch and why it has not been fixed, and also the talk about the maintenance, it's kind of something that should be expected once there is a client-side fix. These things will go out first on PC, and then they need to be kind of cleared by Sony and by Microsoft to make sure that they don't kill or open up any kind of security exploits for the system. So those things will take time. That has nothing to do with Massive. That's just something of how the chain of command works with those types of things. Now, the next thing we're going to get into, there's quite a chunky little bit of video that I'm going to show taken from the State of the Game, where we first get to see, we get to see our first view of the new 4v4 PvP mode called Skirmish. They're going to talk about a few things just in case you, for some odd reason, don't want to watch it and you just want to skip over some of the highlights. They're going to talk about the map size. The maps are a good size, kind of like the size of landmarks. They're good for 4v4. There will be no NPCs. It's going to be deathmatch only type of thing. The spawns are going to be reworked, kind of like if you get wiped out, it won't be you just kind of single file getting sent out there and getting shot. It'll be more about leaving as a group or something like that. And then it should be kind of 10 seconds or so that you're out of combat. So it should be fast and furious. It's also going to work off of, it's going to have its own set of ranks. The ranks are going to build off of the last stand ranks. So if you are at level 40 in Last Stand, they are going to continue and they will get higher. I'll let them explain about that. Your skirmish builds, just so that you know, are going to be normalized. So that means that the same way that it is in Last Stand, that your build is at its complete max, that is the way that it's going to be in Skirmish. You won't have any weaknesses in your build outside of, just the way that you've constructed it. The matchmaking, I should say, is going to be based off of your performance and based off of your skill level. So hopefully you'll get paired up with people who are around your skill level, and then as you improve, you might find it you get even more difficult people, but that we'll see how the matchmaking for that goes. The way that it's going to work is that it's going to be a first to 20, or it's going to be a 10-minute long match, and that will pretty much round up what they're going to talk about. Some of the key things, there are other things that they will talk about, so if you want to hear everything straight from the horse's mouth, let's get started, and you can see some gameplay. So let's go.
So first of all, just to talk about what we're actually seeing, I know you guys aren't, but we have this intro screen where you see the 4 people from your team.
That's correct. It was big important for us to really showcase our characters for the first time. Show the player your 4-man squad, and we have a lot of sexy stuff people can put on. So
Absolutely.
Let's get up close and personal and let people see it, and also let people inspect. That's something we're going to go on a little bit later, but the best person in the match, you're going to be able to inspect them and see what gear they're wearing, see what weapons they have and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be actually a really good kind of teaching tool for players getting up to speed with PvP who maybe didn't jump in before.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And maybe it's a little secret. I'm going to give a secret. Ready
Go
for a
for it.
secret? You're going to be able to do an emote when you're on that screen. So, you can select a certain emote, put it in a slot, and you can do a little backflip, do the Macarena, whatever you want to show your teammates that you know how to do. You'll be able to do that on that screen.
That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's a secret, though, just for State of the Game people. Don't tell anyone else.
So we were talking about Skirmish, and as I said, we're watching it on the screen right now. How big is a Skirmish arena?
So they're kind of they're new arenas, right? So they're totally kind of their own contained spaces, but I'd say they're roughly the size of some of our largest landmarks or extraction zones. So think maybe like Bryant Park or some of the rooftop gameplay up in DZ 8 and 9. Mm-hmm. They're pretty big, but they're all about getting you into combat quickly, right? We want to minimize run times.
Yeah.
So.
If I had another phrase to coin, it'd be less running, more gunning, baby.
Oh dear.
That's actually
God.
We're gonna sell T-shirts with that on it. So.
Yeah.
But just
he's right. Bryant Park, that side. We custom built these things. And they're for this 4v4 size, so they're pretty optimized for that.
let's just make one thing clear. There are no, compared to Last Stand, which is these huge areas you fight in, there are no NPCs, anything like that. This is just pure team deathmatch from start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've kind of redone the spawning system. So you come in waves with your teammates. Like if you have a team wipe, you all come in together, kind of close in proximity, and you can charge back into battle. It's probably an average of, at most, 10-second run times until you're back in a fight.
And that's tops, man. That's tops.
So moving on to how the scoring in Skirmish actually works. We see a counter here at the top of the screen. Currently says 5 and 3. What do those numbers mean?
So, we obviously have a lot of ways to revive players. So scoring actually takes effect when you send someone all the way to the death screen, right? So you down them, but you have to get up and finish them. That scores a point. So if you are playing tight with your team and you're reviving people and you're getting people back up and popping recovery link at the right moment, you can actually take points from the other team and kind of, even the odds a little bit more.
Yep. You're essentially counting to top kills.
Right. So what's looking at ranks? Last Stand has ranks, UG has ranks, etc. How does that kind of ranking work in Skirmish?
Well, what we're doing, we're taking the Last Stand rank actually and repurposing it. So we're gonna make that the PvP rank. That might not be what we call it at the end of the day, but You can rank up this PvP rank in Last Stand or Skirmish. We know there's a lot of people already at max rank, so we have plans for rewards. But essentially, in a match of Skirmish, it's gonna function a lot like it does in Last Stand, where you're earning XP for actions that you do, and at the end of the match, that will accrue, and you'll have a total, and that will apply to the rank, and then you'll creep up and have the potential to earn Skirmish caches, and then post rank 40, right? Keith, we're raising the rank.
We're raising the rank. So, we know a lot of people are already sitting at the max rank. There will be a lot of new players jumping in who maybe haven't played Last Stand yet. So we're going to bump the rank up all the way to 99 and give you this thing to keep building towards. But then taking it one step further, at set increments after post rank 40, we'll be giving better rewards, unique rewards like classified caches.
Classified caches, everybody.
That's right.
Yeah. So again, this will give players the opportunity who don't have Last Stand to increase that rank. You can earn the vanity and items that you weren't able to earn, before, and now you can push all the way to 99 and get classified caches. The GE's over. How do I get classy caches? That's awesome. It's important to note also that Skirmish is normalized, right? Before we talk about scoring, we talk about rewards and all that stuff. This is just like Last Stand. It's a normalized play. I wanted to point that out before we got any further.
Right.
I know we'll talk about balance later, but
absolutely.
Yeah. Looking at kind of the end screen, I've actually seen this video before, and we're going to get to it sooner or later while this is running. There's this scoring board as well. What kind of activities do you expect people to do during a skirmish match? What kind of activities are they rewarded for?
Oh, to earn XP, you mean?
Yeah.
The similar gamut. When you down someone, when you finish them, if you assist on the kill, healing, reviving, all those things.
Yeah, it's the ones that we had in Last Stand. But one new way to score extra points is if you were the person who put someone in that down state, when they're actually finished and score a point for your team, you get an extra mark that kind of boosts your score even higher.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So how does matchmaking work in Skirmish?
You'll love it. I'm sure you'll love it.
Oh yeah. No, so it's we're kind of once again we're building on Last Stand. We have a matchmaking rank behind the scenes that keeps track of your overall win loss, kill death, your recent performance, and it's trying to put you with other similarly skilled players. And then we've taken that kind of one step further, like Terry mentioned, in that pre-round screen where you see your whole team. The person on your team with the highest matchmaking ranking, that's the person up front. That's the person kind of front and center that you can inspect and kind of see what's he doing. What is his exact KD? What is his build?
Yep.
His or her build.
Right. And how long are the matches? How have you balanced kind of the length of play of a skirmish match?
Well, I think the PTS will help us really dial that in. As it stands right now, you're going to a kill count of 20 or a timer of 10 minutes.
Yeah, so they're pretty snappy matches. We want these to be kind of a fast, session-based activity that you just kind of jump in and play a few really intense matches.
All right, cool. I think the match is slowly coming to a stop here on the screen, actually. They're going to let it run all the way, but we are going to talk about one more thing when it comes to update 1.8 that we haven't talked about before.
So now that you guys have seen what's going on with Skirmish, we need to talk about what else they talked about in the state of the game. Now, the next thing that they talked about that was of mention is gear optimization. This is going to be a new thing, and I think I'm probably going to have to make a commentary video about this subject, because the way that it was kind of organized and the way that they're talking about it kind of brings me to a couple concerns. I am going to let them talk about these things, the way that they're set up and how they work, and then you guys can hear it straight from them. And then I'd like to kind of interject some ideas or some questions about some of the things, and then propose some questions to you guys, and I'd love to hear what you have to say and what you think in the comment section below. So why don't we get started, and I'll play some of these clips and I'll just line them up, and then you guys can check them out, and then I'll ask my questions, and then yeah, if you got some time, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think.
So you're going to be able to optimize, all your weapons and your 6 gear slots. So your chest piece, mass, things like that. And when you kind of optimize it, you're really going in, and anything that's not min-maxed, you're bumping slightly higher on that stat, right? And you can kind of incrementally push towards the perfect min-max build. So when you log into 1.8 the first time, you're on your character select screen, you see your gear score, it's not going to say 256 anymore. Yeah, so the gear score is now reflective of the quality of the rolls on all your items. So if you have a really good armor roll and a really high primary stat and majors and minors, your gear score is going to be closer to the cap. So the new gear range for World Tier 5 is 256 is now that's the bottom line. That's what everyone was at. No one's going to go below that unless you start equipping World Tier 4 gear or something. And you can push up to 286. That's the new cap. So running around the world, you'll see players with different gear score, your loadout screen. You might have your Lone Star build totally min-max and awesome, and now you're working on your Alpha Birds build and kind of boosting that gear score up.
Again, power levels are essentially the same. We're just granularizing that value so you have a better understanding of just how powerful you are. Right?
Yes.
So it's a huge tool. Even when gear drops in the world, being able to see how good is this striker chest piece? Oh, it's 256. Burp, burp. Nope. Oh, it's 270. Just imagine going to this new optimization station. I'm sure we'll talk about this in a minute, but there will actually be a place in Camp Clinton in the terminal next to the recalibration station. It's going to be an optimization station. You're going to take your gear there, and you're going to watch that number climb every time you go and optimize it. And so you get this physical, this tangible reward and visual identification that you are better, right, than you were before. I think
Absolutely.
It's huge.
So after hearing all of what they said about the gear optimization, the optimization station, the new gear score, and how all of that stuff is going to work, it seems, and this is, I guess, my opinion, and you guys let me know what you think below, it seems like this optimization station is really going to kind of take a lot of the guesswork out of things. If you get a really high roll, and because the gear score is now going to be reflected by the quality, or basically I shouldn't say the quality, but more about how close it is to the max of each roll, it's going to take a lot of that guesswork out on whether you should keep a piece of gear or not. And I think this is really going to help out a lot of newer players and stuff like that. And that's, totally fine. I've got no problem with that. But what I am a little bit worried about is that what is this going to change the game into? Like I said earlier, I think I might have to make a little bit of a commentary about this. But what do you guys think with this optimization thing and being able to, I guess, kind of circumvent having a bad roll? I mean, I guess it cuts down on the grinding to some degree, because you can just pour, division tech when I guess E currency is what they called it in the stream, which I think is just regular, the DZ credit, not DZ, but the regular credits. That the regular credits and division tech are what you're going to use to kind of increase your gear to make it better. And I'm just wondering, what is that really going to do for the hardcore player, and what is that going to do for players in general when they start thinking about their builds and how to make this stuff as best as they can? I'm kind of curious about this. What do you guys think about that? And then the other thing that I wanted to kind of mention was that it also said that the recalibration station is going to be, it seems like automatic. They didn't really say that you would be able to choose a stat and then increase it. It says that as you go there, the gear, you would see your score rise and you would see this thing kind of go up. I think I need some clarification on that. Is it something that you can choose a stat, or is it going to just look at all of the stats and increase them all gradually, as they said, it's going to gradually increase. Is every stat that's not to its fullest potential going to gradually go up, or will you be able to just kind of put points into a certain stat that you want to see go up? I'm curious about that, and I'd love to know what you guys think about this entire thing. Leave a comment and let me know. And also, one other thing, stamina and toughness, as people have spotted out on Reddit, is going to go back to 30 points instead of 15. So this 30 points is now really going to change the way people make their builds, which I think is one of the reasons why they're bringing it back, is so that people who made a lot of electronics and firearms builds are probably going to have to keep grinding and find some more stuff to put electronics in. To put STAM into, and it's just gonna. I think by doing that, it's gonna go back to making it a little bit more grindy. But hopefully, it'll add some more variety into the builds and stuff like that. But I still wonder if this recalibration stuff is going to take away some of those things. But I'll leave it up to you guys. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section, and then if there's enough talk about it and you guys have some strong opinions, then I'd love to make a video, maybe a let's talk about it, and then we can hash it out and talk some more about this topic. So next, let's get into Rogue 2.0, as they put it, and then after that, I think that'll probably close it out, and then we'll see what's going on next week with the state of the game. So thank you guys for coming and checking out this video. I hope you did appreciate it. Leave those comments. I always love hearing what you guys have to say, and I'd love to hear your opinions on this recalibration thing, and even Skirmish. What do you guys think about that? Leave a comment, let me know, and enjoy the new little bit of information on Rogue 2.0. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
Rogue 2.0, that's what we're calling it. A whole bunch of changes. I get shaky thinking about it because I love the Dark Zone. But as a teaser, one of the big elements of Rogue 2.0 in the Dark Zone is that friendly fire will now be off in the Dark Zone. There will be no friendly fire in the Dark Zone, which means you have a button press. There is a toggle to go rogue. No more accidental rogue. No more chasing manhunts and then accidentally hitting your buddy and then having the whole
group
turn
to you because you're the weak prey at that moment.
We'll talk all about what that button press means, how you do it, and all the other changes. There's a lot of them. We'll talk about it next week.
That was like the smallest little piece of it.
Yes.
So.